Well, hello, friends. Our reading today is Deuteronomy 21 to 23. We find that there are instructions about various laws that God is requiring for Israel. Now, we cannot forget that this is a new nation that he is establishing. So he is setting some boundaries for them. And much of these laws that we read about and these requirements for them, they are specifically for them. But by the time we get to the New Testament with Jesus in Matthew chapter 5, verse 17, he says, I haven't come to do away with the law, but I've come to fulfill the law. Now, what does that mean, come to fulfill the law? Well, Matthew 5, 6, and 7, the Sermon on the Mount, many people look at that as the equivalent of the law, the Old Testament law. It's the New Testament law of the that we are living by today. And we read some examples in Matthew chapter 5 where Jesus said, you have heard, referring to the Old Testament law, but I tell you, and we read about anger, lust, we read about divorce, oaths, retaliation, but just to give you an example of what Jesus is saying here, he says, you have heard that thou shalt not kill, but I tell you, don't even be angry with a person. He says, you've heard, don't commit adultery. I say, don't even look at a woman and lust after her. So what we see here, we have a letter of the law and we also have a spirit of the law. It's a heart issue. By the time we get to the New Testament, it's a heart issue, not just an issue of action. Because if your heart is changed, then it will change your actions. I say all that to say this, that again, some of these Old Testament requirements have to do with some things that we don't live by today. For example, we read in Deuteronomy chapter 22, he's talking about a mixture. Don't mix your crops, your seeds. Don't mix the ox and the donkey. Don't let them plow the fields together. Don't wear wool and linen at the same time. Well, we don't live by that today, but there is a spiritual principle in this, and that is our spiritual life. You can't mix sin with holiness. You can't mix light and darkness. There's got to be a separation. And so I encourage you, friends, when it comes to mixtures, let's think of the spiritual aspect. We've got to have a pure religion, a holy life, live a holy life. We can't hang on to the world and hold on to God at the same time. God bless you. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.